Welcome to Talking Reds. What a weekend for Liverpool Football Club. Arsenal drawing and Liverpool winning, meaning 2 wins away from the Premier League title. But we are in for a big summer. That is according to all the reports. That is according to Arne. That is according to Virgil van Dijk as well. Virgil van Dijk has actually said we are set for a big summer. He actually went on to say as well, whether it happens or not, he's got to put faith in the people above. That's what he said, basically. He said that he's got to put faith in the people above this summer. Whether that happens or not, we don't know, do we? We really don't know until it happens. I'm not preparing myself for a big summer. I'm just preparing myself for enjoying the season, and then whatever happens in summer happens. I will, if it isn't a big summer, then I won't forget what people have said and what the reports and journalists have said. I know Rita knows I'll hold them accountable for that, for those gaslighting lies that they've given us. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about the big summer and who we could buy, what positions we're going to look at, what positions we should be looking at, and who are the players that we could be looking at as well. So, obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold looks to be pretty much out of the door. Salah and Van Dijk are staying with Liverpool, so that means a right winger still could be looked at, technically, if we're going to replace Salah at some point in the future. Another centre-back could be looked at, potentially, but I think we need a centre-back anyway. Reece, what would you say our priority area is right now?
You want me to say what? Do you want me to say what my one, or what you think the club?
Yeah, whatever you think our priority should be, and what do you think our priority is in Liverpool's minds?
Centre back first. So obviously Van Dijk signed a new deal. Get Konate to sign a new deal, or sort that out. If he's not going to sign one, then you sell him. You don't let him go for free. But I think he will sign. I think he was just waiting to see what was going on with Virgil and Salah. Obviously, I know he wants 200,000, but I'll double his wages. I wouldn't give him 200. That's quite a big jump. I'd give him like 150, 160.
I said that, yeah.
Because he's on around 80 now, 70. So just double it for me. So get a centre back. Keep Konate as well. So, and then left back. I would say I think they're gonna get right back, but someone who can just compete with Bradley. But a DM. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to get a midfielder or not. They say they're not, but for me, we need a midfielder. For me, because you need to be able to give Gravenberch a rest. You can't just have him there, even though he's done sensational there.
The first part of the season, yeah. First part of the season,
he looked more tired, and our midfield looked too nice. We need someone a bit more aggressive, a bit more of a brute, a bit more of a bully in there. So, centre back and midfield is essential. Striker. Obviously, you get someone to come in to compete with Gakpo if Diaz gets moved on, and then maybe someone for Salah. I don't think they're going to get that, but the 4 most important positions for me is left back, centre back, DM, and striker for me. Because, like I said, you saw Robinson the other day when he came on. I know. Who would you say that's trick as well? Whose fault was that? Would you say that goal was? Because some people are saying he let Van Dijk know he was coming across, but for me, Van Dijk's already in the position. You don't need to come across.
No, he didn't need to. No,
you didn't need to come across. He's already there. He's already in the position. But yeah,
I see where Van Dijk was sort of at fault a little bit, but yeah, Robertson shouldn't have been coming across like that at all. And then the swipe of the ball, it's just it literally is a thing that defenders shouldn't. They know the position they're in. Every defender knows they're in that position. They don't take a swipe at the ball. Anything can happen. And it was a good finish, to be honest. Nunez would be proud of that. Nunez should be watching for that because it was a good finish, bottom corner. It wasn't. He wasn't any mess about finish. It was a good finish. So yeah, Reece mentioned there a few positions: right back, left back, centre back, DM. We need a DM. I'm not having this bullshit that we don't need a DM.
No.
The striker certainly. Nunez is gone.
Striker,
pretty much. The left winger depending on Diaz, doesn't it? Really.
Depends for me if he goes, isn't it? Because if he don't, then you keep them two. I would like to get someone for Salah, but I don't think that's going to happen this window.
No.
It could be, you never know, but I don't think so. I don't think that's crazy important, because I think if you get another midfielder, then for me, McAllister could go in the 10, and for me, Szoboszlai could go on the right or the left. He could play a bit more. We could kind of see if he has more to offer, which I think he could offer. But 10, I don't know if the 10's necessary for him. So maybe he could offer something on the right or the left. He could give that.
Yeah.
I don't think Elliott is the right position for to back Salah up. I think Elliott's for the 10, but obviously we'll see if he gets moved on. We'll see if Elliott gets moved on or whatnot.
No, what's going on?
Yo. No, don't mind people. Damon's back in a second. There we go.
I am here. A second. Let's get you back on.
There we go.
No, what happened there? All I did is type in chat. And it's come off.
Sorry.
So what's going on there? But hey, I am back, guys. Don't you worry. Live stream, who'll do it there? Go on, mate.
Those would be my essentials for me: centre back, left back, midfield, and striker. Those 4. I think they're going to get a right back. I think the right back. I could be wrong, but I think it will be what's his name from Bayer Leverkusen. I think it will be him because I do think he looks like he's trying to get pace in a lot of positions. Kirkes is fast and strong. I think we need more pace up front. If you look up front, it's not that quick. Gakpo's okay. Salah's not what he was. Nunes is quick, but he's not good enough. And then you've got Diaz, not blistering, or he doesn't run at guys like he used to from when he got previously.
He has done the last 3 games though. He has done the last 3 games.
Needed more time though. I just think we're not as quick on the break compared to if you look at the times when we had Klopp, that kind of break. You knew kind of thing. Whereas, I do think those are the positions I would look at. Those 4 are the essentials for me.
Do you think it's more in terms of the break? You said the fast tempo and the fast break. Do you think that's more Slot's tactics though, rather than the players themselves? Because there's times this season I've seen us going on a break and just completely stop it, and we've gone backwards again. Yeah. And yesterday it was massive in terms of how slow he was, and I didn't like how slow he was, to be honest. And it's hard to adjust to that slowness. So I do like being a bit more fast tempered and a bit more not flary, but just a bit more exciting.
I think a bit of both, but at the same time, I do think the teams just look more tired, even more tired or more complacent. Especially in that game yesterday, you wouldn't have put it past us for West Ham if they were to take a point. They would have deserved that because the second half, they were all over us. They hit the bar 2 or 3 times. It's very lackadaisical. It's like it took for West Ham to score for us to wake up.
Yeah, I said that yesterday. Yeah.
Could see how much it meant to Slot when we scored because he's not usually so animated. So I do think we need more pace up front. Obviously, we'll have to see what FSG do, but I don't think when have we heard Klopp say that it's going to be a summer where it's like you never really heard that. So for him to say that, he must know something. He's vouching.
I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows FSG yet. Has he met FSG?
Remember when I said they can't let all 3 of these lot go. This guy's about to win the league. You're gonna have to give him some things there.
He's earned it. He's definitely earned it.
Going to be in for a surprise. I just think because it's Edwards and Hughes, and because it's Edwards as well, not every player you're going to get is marquee. So everyone's going to want it has to be this one and this one. I still think they're going to do it in a way like how they did it before when you got the Robinsons, you got the Manes, you got the Salahs. I think they're going to try and go for Isak. I just see it as if Newcastle get the top, which they look like they're going to get the top 5. I don't see anyone getting them because the money they're going to ask for is too much. So I think Liverpool will get them, but they're not going to pay silly money. And I think they'll pay 80 or 90, but 150 or anything.
No chance. Absolutely no chance. No. So I put at the bottom there, Reece, what money will sales make? And knowing FSG, we've got to do a sell to buy. That's how we work, sell to buy. This is why I'm not expecting a huge summer because depending on what sales we do and how much money we do get back, because we did reject a 70-80 million pound bid for Darwin Núñez. Will we get that again? I don't know. Saudi seem to be throwing money around, but Darwin Núñez is certainly, I don't know why, they want him 70 million in the first place for me in value. He's chopped down certainly massively since January, even more so because he hasn't really been playing. When he has played, he's been terrible by the Brentford game. So what money will sales make? So let's go through the sales that we potentially could do. Kelleher, you're talking 25 million for Kelleher? Would you say that? 25 million?
I think Kelleher? I think more.
Do you think? I don't think people are buying for that much.
Nah, man. If you look at the Premier League, a lot of these men ain't got good goalies. Chelsea's, United's, places like that. Obviously, I don't know if that's you got United, but I'm looking at more 40 million for me.
Oh yeah. So let's just round up that into say 32 million. Yeah, just for round up for mine and yours. 32 million. Yeah, just for argument's sake, just to round up some numbers. I might say 35 million. Let's make it easier for quick maths.
Cool.
I'm good at maths, but just make it easy for everyone. 35 million. Simicast, that's definitely a sale. I'd say about 15. I won't say more than that. I can't say more than that.
I'll
It's
say
not like
10 to 20 million.
so 15. There we go. 10 to 20. In the middle is 15. So that's 50 million there for Simicast and Kelleher. Anyone else in the defence we're selling? Because Trent's got free and there's no one else really. Potentially.
Nunes.
Kwanzaa, possibly.
Oh, in defence, the only way I see Kwanzaa getting sold is if he's a part of the Isak deal. That's the only way. Otherwise, I don't see him getting sold because he's what's it called?
Homegrown.
Yeah, we go. Homegrown. Yeah.
Midfield. I think Martin's gone. I think it'd be better to help Martin go because there was the reports before the season started that Martin wanted to leave just for first team football. He don't want it to be held back in terms of first team football and getting minutes. He's not really got many minutes this season at all. He got a little bit earlier on in the season. Other than that, we kept him around for numbers. I don't agree with that. To me, I'd rather let him go and just enjoy his football. Martin, 10 million.
Maybe 10, yeah, I'll say so.
Yeah, 10 million. So that's up to 60 million. Anyone else midfield, do you think?
I know people don't want to hear this, but I can see Elliot being moved on. I know people don't want to hear this, but I have a feeling that's the position I forgot to mention. I have a feeling they might buy at 10. I just have a feeling they might buy it.
Yeah, because they're lacking creativity, and I think he's noticed that.
I think he wants the midfield to be more physical, so you could even see Salah dropping back, but obviously not to go off too much. I could see Elliot getting moved on.
What would you value Elliot though?
I think you can get.
It's hard because I think he should be high, but because he hasn't been playing.
I'll say 20 to 40 million. I can't.
Do you?
Yeah, man. I'm looking at how the market's fluctuated now. So for me,
I'm just thinking the potential he has, mate. I'm thinking the potential that he has.
I think 20 to 40 million. It's the same as Kelleher. That's why I said 25 million would be daylight robbery for me because he gets into most other teams in terms of in the league goalies, minus maybe City's. They're kind of good for his goalie position. Nottingham Forest are good for goalie, but most of the other teams, Tottenham's probably all right for goalie, but Chelsea, Man United, even Newcastle, he would get in there. Yeah, that's what I think. Tottenham, I think he would get in there.
He's all right in Vicaria, but he's not incredible.
Their first team goalie, I think he's good enough. But I would say 20 to 40 for Elliot. I would say.
I'm just trying to think who would go for Elliot. Who's needing that number 10 because it's certainly staying in the Premier. I think apparently if he came available, you're talking 20 million there, 25 million. That's what your numbers are saying there. Someone's going to snap that up. Someone is going to see that and think, "Wow, that's a bargain." 20 million for Elliot, the potential he has in that number 10. Put him in the right team, he can shine. I'm trying to think who needs a 10 there.
No, Forest don't need a 10, but I think they're going to lose their 10, so I can see them coming in for him.
You think they'll lose good right, do you?
Man City, apparently, he's on their list, apparently, for players.
I think Man City will go out for Wirtz, me. I think they'll go all out for Wirtz.
It's not guaranteed they're going to get Wirtz. I don't believe they're going to get Wirtz. I think Bayern's heavily favourites for Wirtz. I think they've already put the groundwork in already. They've already spoke to his family and stuff, so...
These dickheads out there buying. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. As soon as the Bundesliga side gets a decent player, they're just all over. I can't stand them.
Liverpool's a dark horse. They're unlikely, but Liverpool's a dark horse for Wirtz. If we could get Wirtz, that would be a game changer.
We ain't getting Wirtz. Do not even put that into the universe.
Everyone thought that the whole three's not going to sign. I'm telling you, don't. And I'm telling you, Slot no sign. And the way he's talking is like
we ain't paying for Wirtz.
He said, I'm all right. That's in general. He said, we're going to have a very strong team next season, bro. This guy don't strike me as a guy saying something for no reason. So I'm telling you, let's wait and see. You'll be surprised. I'm
thinking here, the perfect team for Elliot now. I'm looking through Premier League teams now. I think the perfect team for Elliot would be Crystal Palace. They got rid of Michael Elise.
Maybe Tottenham as well, because
even though
Maddison's a good player, he's very injury prone.
I think they still have faith in Maddison, don't they?
Huh?
I think they still have faith in Maddison, even though he is injury prone. I think they still have faith in him. Villa don't need one. They've got Rodgers. Everton would never sell to Everton. Like I said, Forest, if they keep Gibbs White, they don't need one. Brentford, potentially.
Maybe.
If they keep Visser and Mbeumo, they've got a good sort of front line there to build on. Elliott just behind.
Maybe. Who's Newcastle's 10? Do they even play with a 10?
No, they play just wingers, don't they? They play free midfield, don't they? They play free midfield with Guimaraes, Joe Linton and Tonali.
Okay.
If anyone's the 10, it's probably Guimaraes, if anyone, but he's not really attacking.
Mm.
And sort of swap around. I think, in fact, Tonali's been the most attacking recently. Thinking about it. I think Palace would be perfect. I do. Knowing that Elise is not being replaced. Against City, they play free at back. But I don't think they want to play free at back. I think because it was against City, I think they did that. So look at the game before for Palace. They don't usually play free at back. Consider the game against Southampton. They normally have Eze, don't they? They can play Eze 10, but he can play left. And he usually does play left if they're a 10. When Elise they played left. So they do play 3-4-3 at the moment, Palace, but I don't know if they want to play that going forward. If they ever wanted a 10, I think Elliott's perfect. Elliott either side of Sarr, Elliott in the middle of Sarr and Eze, and Mateta up front. And they've got a good, strong English core, haven't they, with like some Wharton and Gehi there. I think it'd be a perfect place for me, for Elliott, for Palace.
I think that's a good fit. He's a good manager as well. I think he's an underrated manager.
How about Brighton?
Maybe even a Brighton too. Do they play
Brighton? They play João Pedro at 10 now, don't they, at the moment? They play João Pedro just behind Welbeck, but João Pedro can play up front.
Mm.
It depends if, again, I'm just thinking who would suit Elliott and how much he'd go for. Now, I'm going to get 40 million for. I'm not going 25 million for Elliott. He's not worth that. Not for the potential that he has. I'm going to 40 million for Elliott. If we sell Elliott, let's just for argument's sake.
That rounds that up to 100 million.
That takes it to 100 million. Does it? Or was it 90 million? Was it 50 million before?
100 because we had 10.
Yes, the 10 million add-on. So that's 100 million there. Nunes, he's gone.
Yeah, I think you can get a decent amount for Nunes. 50 to 70 million.
I think it could be 60. Yeah. So let's 60. Yeah, I'm agree with that. So 60 million for Nunes, 160 there. So it's either Jota or Diaz that's going to go for me.
Diaz, I'm going to say. I think you get more for Diaz. I have a feeling Jota's going to stay. I think they'll keep him as the backup. I just see it. Because they might look at, if they manage him, maybe if he doesn't have to play all the time, then he could just be, then he's less likely to get injured. And then he's a good backup. He can't lead the line anymore, but he can be a good backup. Diaz, I would say 50, 60 million for me.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So if you add that,
yeah, still got 50. So that's 210, 220 in it. Say 220 million we could get in sales. Potentially around 200. You did say about that. If Jota goes instead of Diaz, it's about 200 in it, you'd say. So it's either 200 or better, really. You'd say we could get in sales. Now, what we do with that money is the biggest question. Does it go on John Henry's new yacht?
I still think there's more money. I still think they got to give him some money out of their pocket too.
That doesn't happen, mate. That doesn't
happen because we win the Premier League. So it might not even have to be out of their pocket. The prize money, how much you get for winning the Premier League.
Right.
250 million to 300 million. War chest. Telling you.
You are someone else. You are someone else. 1 second. I want to transfer.
Winning the Premier League.
I'm just gonna go over. When was the last time? I'm trying to think. Where we go. I'm just gonna try to get Liverpool's potential. So after they won the Premier League last time.
Forget about that. Let's not go.
After the Premier League last time. You don't want to know it, do you? You don't want to know. Welcome, Steve. Yes, let's go, champs. I said on the we're doing 2 months of celebrations on this channel, by the way, for the Premier League champions because we have won the Premier League. Let's be honest, we're not going to beat around the bush here. The Premier League title is done. Reece has got his party hat in the background. He's not wearing it yet. He don't want to jinx it just yet, but he has got a party hat ready for the celebrations. But yeah, I'm down to celebrate for 2 months. Me straight. I don't care. But yeah, I was just thinking. Looking back at when we won the Premier League last time, Reece, 2021, 50 million we came in terms of net spend 50 million, 56 million the year before. The Champions League win, we bought Elliot, Van der Berg, and Adrian.
No, we know that.
I kind of think we bought the season after we won the league. Do we buy Jota? We bought Jota.
Otto Thiago.
Jota Thiago, that same summer. Is that it? Is that what we bought?
Wait. Was it Simicast as well? Wasn't it Simicast as well?
20. So it would have been Spurs summer 2020, isn't it? 2021. There we go. Here we go. Liverpool transfers 2020-21. Let's go back to when we actually signed. So it was Jota, yeah, right? Jota, Simicast, and Thiago, and then obviously.
Really, that was a good window. Minus if you had added one more player to that.
That's what I'm saying. We always do good transfers. It's just we don't do enough. That's 3 transfers there, and it clearly wasn't enough because we needed midfield, and midfield were crumbling, and we got Thiago really, and that's it. Jota, good signing. Simicast, a good signing as a backup at that time. Live games brings in over 200 million plus. I mean, yeah, Steve, it does. Win the title and all our live games being in 200 million plus. In fact, actually, I've worked out that we're live actually on Sky Sports next 4 games at half on a Sunday. I think it's the same time every single Sunday. The next 4 games, I think it's obviously Leicester this Sunday, then Tottenham week after, and we've got Chelsea, Arsenal week after, 2 weeks after that. I want to lose to Leicester and beat Spurs, Chelsea next game, better manager. Next game, and the banter manager, his squad, their fans give us guard of honour. But Steve, we actually get the guard of honour anyway, even if we win the next 2 games. Because what will happen is if we beat Leicester away and Tottenham at home, we'll get a guard of honour from Chelsea away, and then we'll have a guard of honour at home as well, which will be against Arsenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to get as many.
So now,
especially
I'll think you last week, Reece. I'll think you last week. Imagine us losing every game, still winning the title, just for absolute hilarious sake. Just for sheer shameless sake of losing every game and still winning the title.
You see that?
Yeah, I do want to win every game though.
That comment from Steve there, he said Champions League brought in close to 90 million. So for me, winning the Prem brings over 100 million. That's without them going in their pocket. That's around.
But it has happened before. This has happened before.
That's 300 million. For me, and you give it to him, that means he can spend it how he wants to spend it.
He cannot. We won the Champions League and the league back to back, and in the summer transfer window, we bought at best Thiago and Jota in those 2 windows.
A lot of guys there, Klopp wanted to keep. You ain't got a sentimental manager.
Oh, don't put that shit on Klopp.
I'm not saying it's all on Klopp.
No.
It does play a part. He wanted to keep. They're sell to buy. You can't buy if you're not moving anyone on. You can't keep everyone on and say, oh, but I want this one and that one, but I want to keep this one and that one too. You got to let some go. Whereas, like I said, a lot of people's hearts are going to be hurt because there's players that he doesn't rate. That's a player I forgot about as well. You might not need someone at right if he keeps Chiesa.
Potentially, it's just on his fitness, so it's a shame really. They don't like him either.
I don't know if it's necessarily don't like him. I don't know.
Do you think he's got a clause? Do you think he's got a clause where if he wins the Premier League medal,
there's some silly clause there where.
And now you're expecting FSG to sanction all this money, so they're keeping a clause on that. But I'm sure it says here we get 2 guys around. I'm sure we get 2 guys around. I'm sure you get 1 at home as well. I'm sure that happened last time we won the league. I'm sure we got 2. We got 1 off Man City, and I'm sure someone else gave us 1 because it was the home game.
I think that was at Arsenal. Arsenal gave us 1 before we won the league. I think it was at that might have been their ground.
We definitely got 1 off Man City because Silva did clap.
Yeah, I know. I remember that one was at our ground. I think that other one we got when it was at Arsenal's ground.
I'm absolutely certain we get 2. I'm certain we're getting because the first one's away against Chelsea. I'm certain we get 1 at home as well. I'm absolutely. I'm not certain. I say I'm not certain, but I'm not 100% sure about that. In fact, I might Google it now. Actually, how many? This is random to search, isn't it? Guard of honours. Do you get winning Prem? This is shameless. This is absolutely shameless. I'm fucking doing this as a fan here. Sky Sports is a guard of honour compulsory. Let's have a look. Is it compulsory? I don't know if it's actually. Do you get it every single game for the rest of the season? I don't know how it works.
No, I don't think it's like that.
I remember. Do you remember when Man United got Guardiola on Arsenal and Van Persie went through? went to Arsenal, having left Arsenal. So yeah, back in 2020, fucking hell, we had more than just one. Man City, Aston Villa, Brighton, Burnley, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Newcastle all give us a guard of honour.
Maybe it depends how much games you got left then, isn't it? So after you've won it, so
in 2021, Newcastle and Everton gave it for Man City. That's 2 games left, obviously. So yeah, I think so everyone must give us a guard of honour then till the end of the season. Cheap broke FSG war chest is coming from player sales this summer. It's coming from Caicedo's pocket, mate. It's coming from Caicedo money. We've still got that somewhere. I'm still on the lookout for it, but it's still there somewhere. Arne will sell these players this summer. Gomez, Rob. I don't think he'll sell Robbo. That's a big shout that there, Steve. Robbo, Simicast, Elliott, Endo, yes, and Nunes. He don't rate them, and Diaz, Jota, hopefully. I think a bit of a change on Diaz. Obviously, he's been playing well in the last 3 games, but it doesn't mean that whole season he's been brilliant. Maybe just realising he might be sold at the season, he's just lifting his game up a little bit.
His dad talks too much as well, man. So
yeah,
time for players talking too much. Like I said, he in his heart, he does probably a South American player at some point wants to play for Barcelona.
Yeah,
makes sense now. You know, like I said, I don't think they're going to offer him a new contract, so I think he'll get moved on.
Right now, me and Reese together with our brains and our brilliant negotiation tactics, better than Michael Edwards, better than Richard Hughes. We have somehow got 220 million from our sales. Now, what do we do with it? Let's look at the Trent replacement. Trent is going. Let's be honest, he's going, and I don't know whether or not he's going to be replaced because I'm thinking with Bradley doing well. I think Bradley might be the main right back, but we still need a league competition for Bradley, at least, especially with his injuries. We can't rely on that, certainly. In terms of his passing ability, Trent, I think we need to replace that in midfield. That's where I'd look at replacing Trent. But what right back should we replace Liverpool? Replace Trent with? And the names out there, obviously, Gertruda. You got Frimpong at Bayer Leverkusen, who's probably the favourite right now. Anyone else that you think we might have a chance of getting, Reese?
He's already played for us. Nico Williams, I think it is. Is it the one who plays?
You think he's going to go back for Nico Williams? Do you?
I don't know, but he looks like he's improved as a player, and he looks like he can. Like I said, he looks like a traditional fullback as well. He can go forward, he can defend, potentially. And if you look at how much it'll cost, maybe 20 to 40 million in that bracket for me. I still think they're gonna go for Frimpong. I just think he's the heavy favourite.
So looking at the prices here, Frimpong is.
He might have a release clause or something.
I can't find him on here. Where is he? Is he even counted as a right back on here?
Probably a right wing back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Livermento's not being talked about much. I know because we've always linked with Newcastle players, Isak, Gordon, Lewis Hall. Livermento would be for me a good signing,
No, he would. I just don't think we're going to get him. Or if you get someone from Newcastle, they're not just going to start letting you take 2, 3, 4 different players. You'd be lucky if you get
the same with Bournemouth, We're doing the same with Bournemouth.
Lucky. The trajectory of Newcastle right now, that's not going to happen. They're not going to be our.
We've got a good project there.
Yeah, I mean.
They've got a good project there. Deals in place for Diaz, Nunes to join Saudi clubs. Well, we saw Nunes the other week, didn't we, Steve? Saying, whispering to Diaz in his mouth, Saudi, didn't he? I didn't like that whatsoever from Nunes when he did that. If there is deals for Nunes and Diaz, then I hope it is Saudi because it keeps away from. They're not playing against us, and they can't do us dirty in the Champions League, and we get big money for them. The Saudi will pay out the backsides for it. If Trent Alexander-Arnold leaves, I would like Van der Sar signed for Monaco to be my number 1 right back. I like that option, Van der Sar. I just had him up a minute ago, actually, Van der Sar's name. So he's 20 million. Transfer market is 20 million euros, which is, I don't think we're getting for that. I think Monaco wanted more from that. They've had a decent season in Monaco, so I don't think they let players just go out quite cheaply at 20 million. But yeah, Frimpong. I still can't find Frimpong, by the way, and I don't know what this website's doing because it keeps refreshing itself. I don't know what it's doing. Anyway, so yeah, Frimpong. Would you say about 40 million? Frimpong, you think you can get out of Leverkusen?
Well, 40
So we've got 180 million left.
180 left.
But it's already going down. It's already going down. We've got a striker to get yet, mate.
I don't
We've
know.
got a striker to get yet.
I don't know how we got 180 left.
Take it off the 220. With 220 to spend. We just spent 40 million on Frimpong.
So you're not counting if they gave us the Premier League money.
We ain't seeing that for shit. We ain't seeing that for shit.
That's
money.
That's money we've earned. That's not money they've already got in their pocket.
It was money we learned last time. We didn't see it for shit. When we won the Champions League, mate, we bought Van der Berg, Elliot, and Adrian. Let me remind you this. We did not see that money for shit.
Circumstances were different back then.
It's not different. It's not different. We've got the same owners. Nobo, Simikas, Inkake, Hato in the summer. Hato's a very good option, actually. Frimpong is a right wing back. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Frimpong as being main right back for me. I think he's too attacking. He's more attacking than Trent. You think Trent can't defend? Frimpong's the winger.
I don't think needs to be the main. Bradley can compete with Bradley. Who's to say Bradley?
I like that. Yeah,
I think
Arne can be back up to Salah as well a little bit.
So I mean, but okay, 40 million there.
You're not adding any Premier League money on this, mate. You're not doing. It's not happening. We're not seeing that Premier League money.
What you can't guarantee that.
All right. Then I'll give you 30 million off the Premier League money. Just so it rounds up to 250.
Give me half, not 30, 50.
We're not seeing half of that Premier League money in our transfers. Not a chance.
How do you know you're not seeing it?
Because I'm just based on experience. We haven't seen it before. We've not seen it before. It's like we still haven't seen that Caicedo money, mate. We still haven't seen that Caicedo money. So we can't see that Premier League money. I'll give you 30 million just for argument's sake, just to add it up to 250. Or do you think we actually are going to spend 300 million? There's no. I saw Anfield Rat talking about 300 million. I don't want to waste my breath on 300 million. We ain't spending 300 million.
We'll see, man. So you didn't think all three were going to sign their contracts, and then two of them.
I did. You know, I did. I said Salah and Van Dijk will sign.
When you're preparing yourself, that means you're accepting that they're going.
No, I've got to prepare myself mentally worse.
I weren't, because I knew that all three of them weren't going to go. It would have been a Messiah. You can't do that.
I think it'd have been massive on goal for all three.
Cool. Centre back, either the one from Bournemouth, which is going to cost like 50.
Huijsen. I don't think Huijsen's a chance if we get Kerkez.
Sorry?
If we get Kerkez, I don't think Huijsen's an option.
I think he's an option.
Do you? You think Bournemouth will sell two of their best?
No, man, Bournemouth, they're going to be our new feeder club. It's all right. It's all right. He used to work for them. He's lining them man up. Don't worry. He's lining up.
I'm not having right. If we're having Kerkez, we can't have Huijsen. If we're having Huijsen, we can't have Kerkez. There's no chance we're getting both.
Why not? You slap 50 on the table. What are they going to say? They have to accept they're Bournemouth. They're a selling club. They're not Liverpool.
You tight get. That's awful.
Why?
They're decent side Bournemouth, you know.
Either him or Hato, and Hato I think will cost less. I think Hato will cost.
If 200 million is a summer kit that allows serious buying power in the market, buyout clauses are paid in one payment. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do pay over the years, but I just don't trust us paying that sort of money ever. I'll be happily be wrong in the summer. I'd rather be wrong because it means we've had a big summer and a good summer.
Oh,
but there's no way we see 250, 300 million spent.
Just wait and see, Damon. Man.
The fact that we've already writing Isak out for me tells you everything that you need to know.
So either him or Hato, and Hato will be less. I think Hato could be around 40 million. How much is left, give or take? Either it's him or Huijsen, which is 50. What's his name?
I think Kerkez is done, so I can't see Huijsen being a chance.
Kerkez is around 30 to 40 million.
So say 250. Say we're starting with 250. So 40 million for the right back. You said Frimpong, didn't you? 210, 170 if you're getting at Kerkez.
Go on, 40 to 50 for the centre back.
Depends who the centre back is. He's not going to be Huijsen when we're getting Kerkez. There's not a chance.
I'm going to say Hato, or it's going to be what's his name? What's the one?
Cape?
The Cape, maybe. Yeah.
Do you think Leverkusen will sell two as well?
Might not have a choice. Alonso will be going. It's back to going to being a selling club. I mean,
I'd love you to be a director of football. You've been just pissing clubs off and just going for one club only. Take all the players off. I mean, we might as well go for Semenyo whilst we're at Bournemouth. Might as well get all of them, all three of them.
I think he's a good player. You know,
He is a good player. He is a good player.
Got some similarities to Mane. Obviously, he's not Mane, but he's got some similarities to Mane. I see some similar qualities.
We answered this earlier, actually, Abdul. Who is to blame for Van Dijk or Robbo? Both of them, really. Both of them.
I'd say
more so Robbo.
Well, yeah.
But I said Van Dijk did make a mistake with it, but I think more so Robbo, you don't swing your foot at it like that. Unless he meant to. It's a good finish, like I said. Centre back, get me Lukeba. Beast of centre back, ideal first. Lukeba is a very good option, actually. And there's not been much talk from Silva, has there, since for a long time. Antonio Silva. There's not been much talk about him recently.
No.
And he was going for big money. I think he was going about 50, 60 million, I think, last time I saw. Hi, Damien Reese and chat. How are you all doing? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Absolutely, Abdul. 2 wins away from title. FSG not buying anyone because they are they all know, Reese.
No,
they all
man,
know.
I just got PTSD, man. Things change, man. When man had Edwards, man always bought players. This is what man don't understand.
But Edwards was here when we bought Adrian, Elliott, and Vandenberg after winning Champions League.
Edwards was also here when we bought Fabinho, Chamberlain, Keita, and all them. We've actually bought players.
But they were out of sales, though. We didn't get it from winning.
Still bought players. We're gonna buy. You lot are gonna be in for a surprise. We're gonna buy.
We need to bookmark this. We need to bookmark this chat. Diaz, Nunes, Jota, Kelleher brings in nearly close to 200 million. Sorry. Striker market is hard to find the right person. It's hard to find the right person with under a budget. It certainly is. You're absolutely right on that. Silva finished fell off a cliff. I don't really been keeping up with Silva. I don't know if he has done well or not. He did well for Portugal in was it World Cup last time? Was it Euros? World Cup, wasn't it? No, Euros, wasn't it? World Cup next time. This is in America. I think Silva done all right coming off the bench for Portugal. But yeah, if he has fallen off a cliff, then he's not going to be talked about then, is he? That's why he's not talked about now. So yeah, I'm not giving you Hoyce now. I'm going to give you Hatter. 40 million again.
Okay.
40 million, so that's 120 off the 250. So 130 left. You got 130 left. We've got a striker left to get. We've got our left winger left to get, and a DM.
We don't really have 130 left, but I'm going to play your game and say 130.
I've been very kind giving you 30 million out of the English transfer.
What you've seen in the past, but you're not looking. Guys like Edwards and that don't come back, and the role and position he's got, and the fact, like I said, no one was expecting this guy to win the league. You can't just give him that mediocre, mate. He's not going to be one of them guys who be quiet. He's not. He's won the league now. He's going to talk. He's already starting to do the thing. He's not going to be humble pie underdog. We're underdogs. Like when
I don't think he wants to be underdog. No, he's got standards.
Huh? I think he's the way he's talking is, like I said, it's that next era. I understand why people feel certain things, but we've won the league. If we didn't win the league, then I'll be like, okay, it's gonna be.
It's even more so for FSG to keep tight though. It's an even more so reason because they'll see there's no room for improvement there at the top of the league.
There is room for improvement. They know that.
FSG don't know that. They don't even look at the scores, Reece. They look at the league table and think, oh yeah, we don't lead this year. They need to spend much.
Tell them it will be a chain. You can see we've like I said, second half of the season, we've been poor the last couple months. There is room for improvement. That squad's old.
There is people that watch the football.
Needs to be recycled.
And understand football. Yeah, I agree. There's definitely room for improvement. But people that are watching football, I don't think they watch. I don't think they have a notification bell on, mate. I also don't think they have a notification bell on.
I don't think they have a notification bell, but I think they get told about the club. So
I think they get told.
They might watch.
They probably say,
maybe
just sat there with a fucking cigar in his mouth with yacht. And then he gets told Liverpool top at league is like, he's just rubbing his hands thinking, yes, fucking cheap summer for me. There's no way we set Premier League money. Absolutely no way. Dream striker is Alvarez, but Kuna would be okay for me. Which CDM would you get? Reece? We're actually going to go for CDM now. Actually, that's our next one. For me,
I would like the one from Brighton, but he's going to cost too much money, so I'm not ruling him. Stiller was my choice. Thinking about what would suit slot as well in it, really. I think he's underrated as well. He'll slot right in. 40 to 50 million, I think, still for me. I think you might be able to get him 40, depending. And then how much is left after that?
I don't think we'll get. Do you think Stuttgart last for more? Because he's one of Stuttgart's best players. I don't think they'll let him go that cheap, you know.
Or he ain't
The
got a
CDM. CDM's quite a position where
like that. Is he international?
I don't think he starts much if he is an international.
Okay.
I'm just thinking it's such a
The reason
what's the word? It's such a wanted position and an important position.
The reason I asked for international though is because they'll be able to come on more if he's international.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the prices now. Stiller is going up in price according to Transfer Market. Is rated at 38 million euros, but he's going up. He's actually got a green arrow going up next to him, so it's not going to go any cheaper. I don't think we're in for CDM anyway, but yeah, Stiller's the one for me. Zubimendi is still at 50 million euros.
I think
You're going to go back for Zubimendi?
He's going to Arsenal. That's what I think.
That's a shame, that, isn't it? Absolute shame, that.
Yes and no, but at the same time, ban him, man. You want to go over there, go over there.
There's no one, not really many else left, really. Is that Hoymond for Sporting Lisbon, put 45 million euros. But Stiller, we'll just agree with Stiller.
Stiller, yeah.
40 million. A lot of 40 millions here.
So that got 90 million left now.
Yeah, and we need a left winger and a striker. Good luck.
Depends if the left winger, depends if Diaz goes. Oh, yeah.
Well, we've sold Diaz on our, when we were talking about it, we have sold Diaz here.
Okay. I can't lie. The whole 90's going on a striker, mate. I'll be real. It's going on Isak.
You think you were getting 9 million for Isak? Well, you actually said at the beginning of the stream that is not going to happen for that.
But I still think we're going to make a move for him, and I think if he says he wants to go, they're not going to stand in his way.
Steve says that 200 million is your budget for summer. I think that seems about right. That's with sales as well.
Like Cunha, I think he's a good player, but his disciplinary record's very
attitude, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't have time for that, but I can't have guys getting sent off. They already had this with Nunes a few times as well, so it's like no, I don't.
And he's been talking a lot, hasn't he, recently about Wolves and saying about he's been saying stuff on social media. It's been a bit weird. What do you brother? What do that brother Sobo do in games? All right, what does that brother do? Sobo in games. This guy plays so many games but didn't do nothing. I think he's got so much potential, Sobo. In some games, has been. In fact, he had a big. When everyone else was playing poor, Soboslai was the one that was actually playing well in that period. I just don't think he's a 10. I don't think he's creative enough to be a 10 for me. What about you, Reece? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think the 10 is his position for me. I think he either needs to drop back alongside Gravenberch, or you let the defensive duties go and let him go. I think on the left, or a bit further forward, left or the right, because he can run. I think he can attack, because he can shoot and whatnot. But the 10, you would have seen it already. You don't see it enough. He always will usually more, instead of take it on himself, unless he's super confident, he's going to pass. He's not going to shoot. You see it every now and again, but not nearly enough for someone who's more than capable. So yeah, the 10, I don't think.
And he don't do these passes that open up teams either, does he? As a 10, a 10 usually does.
No, not how he's supposed. That's what I'm trying to say. Not as much as he's supposed to. He'll usually go for the easy option, or sometimes break down that attack. But I do think there is a player in there. I'm not gonna write Szoboszlai off, because, like I said,
yeah.
Remember the player I saw, and he has had spells where he's been good for us. So yeah, I mean, I do think there's more to come from Szoboszlai, but I do understand people's frustrations, the fans.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think it's a 10, but I think also has been running to the ground, and that's again the lack of depth we do have is starting to show. And I don't like the fact that he hasn't played Elliot much. It's a little bit on slot, but a little bit on the ownership as well in terms of the lack of depth we've got. Edison for CDM said, Steve, double pivot with Gravenberch. I'd love Gravenberch next to a proper DM. I would. Gravenberch next to a proper DM would see the best of Gravenberch. Stiller his pants, he says so. Get me Hugo Larsson over him as backup. I think Stiller's brilliant, you know. Kiesa can't buy a game to play.
It's very frustrating. That's another conversation in itself. Because I think if he came on the weekend, I think that game gets put to bed. I think technically, Technically, he's our best attacker for me. If you technically, even though Salah is the one who usually scores and all that, I think technically he's our most gifted. But for whatever reason, like I said, it's fitness or slot not like him. I don't know.
I just don't like it when Nunes gets put in front of him as well, and Jota when
Yeah,
they're not even playing well.
that's more the no, especially Nunes. It's like
Yeah.
instead of Chiesa. It's like, okay,
Newcastle will have interesting Kelleher, Gomez, Kwanzaa, Elliott. Newcastle want a few of ours actually. Maybe LFC could offer these players with the cash on top of Isak, Gordon.
maybe Steve. Yep, tell Damon Steve. Maybe.
Steve, don't get him started for fuck's sake, man. Do not get him started. I've already said we're not going to get two players out of Bournemouth. We're not getting two players out of Newcastle. Not when they're getting Champions League football as well. There's absolutely zero chance of that. I'm not buying that. But yeah, I think Isak would be the one. I mean, Gordon. I think Gordon's brilliant. I think Gordon's absolutely brilliant. If I'm going to go for another Newcastle player, though, I wouldn't actually go for Gordon now. I'll go for Gamerish, and that would cost a bomb.
Yeah,
But
that's going to cost too much. That's why I'm not even mentioning his name.
why we mentioned Isak, Isak's we talked about. You said Isak's part of this deal here. You think Gamerish is too much? Isak's way too much for us.
Yeah, we say that. Let's wait and see.
Gamerish next to Gravenberch would be brilliant. I would love to see Chiesa in a false nine when the title is wrapped up. I don't think that's fair in him. That's quite insulting, isn't it? Now title's wrapped up, you get to play a little bit now.
I think he'll take it though. The fact you just get to play, man.
Possibly, yeah, but I think it is a bit of an insult. I would not trust you in the games actually matter. We trust Nunes over you. I mean, that's in fact, if you're not insulted enough, getting Nunes playing over you, I'd be fuming if I was on that bench and Nunes got a nod over me. Not a chance. But yeah, it would be nice to see Chiesa a little bit more. It would be nice to see Elliott a little bit more as well. We didn't see Chiesa again at the weekend, did we? Yesterday,
No,
didn't come on
we
again.
didn't see him. No, that was very frustrating.
And he went really defensive this slot. He brought
Robinson on for Simicast, which was strange.
And he brought Endo on for Salah.
Yeah, that was I was like, no.
I thought, what is going on here? Slot?
Trying to shut.
This is what I'm saying. I think he's brilliantly tactically, Slot, but I think he thinks too much tactically. I think sometimes just play someone like Chiesa to come on and finish the game off. We got away with it yesterday because if Van Dijk didn't get up for that header, we draw that game, and that's on Slot. It would have been on Slot.
Mate, potentially. Well, I was gonna say, Steve's put a comment in there. You think that's true? Said Hughes and Edwards were offered Isak and Gordon for 120 million last summer. FSG said no. If that is true, that's horrible business.
Well,
I'll take that right now.
There were a chance of us going to get Vatsakelly, weren't there? And we said no to that. 100 million. About that anyway, 80 to 100 million it was in January, and we said no to that.
The one who's at PSG.
Yeah.
Would have been around 60, didn't they get him for 60?
I think they did, but the words around us was 80 to 100. But I don't know if we could have gone for 60. But yeah, we definitely looked at him and we said no to it. Vatsakelly. Can you imagine if we got Vatsakelly in and just then moved Diaz on this summer? That'd been all right. We should. Why didn't we sell fucking Nunes for Vatsakelly in January? That is crazy.
I told you, either that or I would have even sold Nunes and I would have kept Dan's as backup. Because Dan's, I'm telling you, would have got some goals.
Oh yeah, I think he's better striking Nunes in terms of finishing anyway.
I know he still needs to develop, but I think he would have got some goals because when he gets into those positions, he's not going to miss. For me, I disagree with this comment.
I do and all. I don't think Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? Yeah, he pissed us all off. Let's be honest, he pissed us all off. I don't like how the way he's gone about it. For me as a Liverpool fan, I'd never ever want to join another team. I'd always play for Liverpool. I don't get it, but then he's a different person to me. He might not have the same mindset as we do, but don't like how he's gone about it. But we've got to be honest about Trent. He's still for me will be a Liverpool legend. No matter how many people people won't get over it in a few years' time. But he's played an integral part of us winning anything in the last few years. And most of the season has been sensational until he got injured.
And look, I'm going to say, I know it's unlikely. I still think there's a possibility he could stay. I still think there's a slim chance. I'll be real with you. Until I see it's official that he signed, that the thing's signed. Because what's taking so long? What's the hold up? Why has it not come out yet? So
He's scared for his life, I think. He's seen the fucking reaction.
Highly likely, but he could potentially, with them not signing a new deal, them not might be in his ear. I still think he's likely to go, but I still think there's a small chance he could. So let's just wait. Let's just wait and see. You don't know.
With everything that's going on, we're seeing Salah and Van Dijk. It does help the cause of him staying, doesn't it?
I think it would be a massive boost if he stayed.
It would be huge. Title gets wrapped up. Can see Quansah, Endo, Elliott, Chiesa start remaining games to increase their market value.
Maybe
that is a piss take. That's an absolute piss take. That is prime FSG, by the way.
Yeah.
That is prime FSG. TAA staying. Trent Alexander-Arnold staying. VVD signed his new deal. Trent Alexander-Arnold promised quality players will be signed.
You're getting my hopes up, Steve. You're getting my hopes up. You're getting me too.
Steve, you are pushing Reese's delusion to another level tonight, my friend. Delusion level. He's gone from Trent Alexander-Arnold staying. He thinks we're going to spend 300 million. Do not get him started. Do not get him started. But I do absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, Reese. I do love it because it's nice to have these conversations that whilst we're celebrating a title as well. It's just nice to chill out, innit? It's just nice to chill out and not have to talk about contracts all the time. I'm sick of talking about contracts. I got bored of talking about them, but we had to talk about them. And now that's done, we can just focus on the football.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's just nice to get to the end of the season, focus on the Premier League. So you USD 90 million is going on Isak then? You think you're going to get him for 90 million? Give or take?
Maybe not 90 overall.
You're relying a lot on that Premier League win. You're relying a lot on that Premier League win money.
But yeah, I would be going for a striker. Striker's more essential. And then you could push Szoboszlai out. Szoboszlai could try and play on the left sometimes. Give Cody some competition.
So this is the issue, Steve. This is the issue. FSG can tell Trent all they want, does show him ambition. When it comes to it in summer, it won't happen. That's the issue. And unluckily, Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract runs out before he can see that happening. So he's got to make a decision. Does he trust FSG doing it? He's, it's not like Van Dijk and Salah. They're here for another 2 years. They can go after that. Trent Alexander-Arnold, if he were to stay, he's got to stay for the next 6-7 years at least.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Well, at least 4 years. But you know what I'm saying? He's got to stay much longer than Salah and Van Dijk. Therefore, he's got to think, where's the ambition going from there?
Yeah, of course.
Whitecat, cheap broke, FSG, LFC best players. Use Nunes as bait. I don't know what you meant by that comment there, Abdul, though. Are you on about Dan's? Okay, I think he's on about Dan's. Be careful your words, though, there, Steve, Abdul lad. I'm concerned about Konate turned down FSG low ball to offers Konate to join Real Madrid next summer. I spoke about this the other day, actually, about Konate and potentially him going. Because his contract runs out next summer, if he were to go anyway, we'd have to sell him this summer if we weren't going to accept a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see him going for free again. I can see another player going for free.
I don't think so. I think if he's not, I think they'll move him on in the summer. If it doesn't get sorted out by the time the summer ends, I think they'll move him on. But I don't think if he was to go, I don't think it would be Madrid. I think it would be PSG that he goes to.
Offered Trent Alexander-Arnold a 4-year deal with release clause. That's probably the way to go. Palace want Dirk, offered Dirk plus cash. I forgot about Dirk. We're getting some money for Dirk.
20 million.
There's the extra money for Isak.
20 million. And try and see if you can get Wharton. Then that's your midfield.
Yeah. Wharton would be a good signing, but again, English tax. You're talking over 50 million onto that, aren't you? And he's having a cracking second half of the season with Palace. Absolutely sensational player. But yeah, I don't. This summer's going to be a big one. Regardless of what happens, regardless of what we spend, I think it's going to be a big summer. We have signed Van Dijk and Salah back onto new contracts, which is fantastic. But into this summer, it's Reece has more optimism than me in terms of how much we're going to spend and how many we're going to buy here. I still think we could get 3 players tops. That's what my thoughts are. Dependent on sales. Again, Mohamed coming in there. FSG sell to buy merchants. You're on your own here. Steve's backing up there tonight a little bit. Spanish clubs want to sign Pacetic for 30 million. I think we keep Pacetic because of the fact that we won't sign a DM. I think we'll keep Pacetic. I do. Just for sheer numbers, I think. If anyone's going to go, I think it'd be Endo. I don't know how much we'll get for Endo. I don't think we will. I think probably part of the Ekitike deal if we're going to get Ekitike. I think he's the one that's been talked about the most. Talking about 50, 60 million for Ekitike, I'd say. He's a good player, but I said it the other day. I said I'd rather Ekitike coming in with someone else, but another striker alongside him, if Ekitike was the one. But yeah, I'm not fully faithful. I'm not fully having faith in FSG to 300 million or 300 million, and that Premier League money. I get the Premier League money, the Champions League money, whatever we bring in. I don't think we see half of it. I don't think we see any of it, if I'm honest. I think we rely a lot on. I think we'll put maybe a little bit too, but I don't think we'll spend 300 million. Nowhere near. I think we'll spend about 200 tops, and the sales will bring. I'd say the sales will bring about 150, 160. So we'll spend really 40 million. And I don't know where that's 40 million's come from, but it's maybe Caicedo money. I don't know. I'm trying to save them here. Bare minimum for me, we need 3-4 quality players for the starting 11. Ekitike has ball ability, lacks physical presence. I think I wouldn't bring Ekitike in as the main guy. If I'm honest, he'd have to come with someone else. He'd have to come on. Same with Liam Delap. If Liam Delap came in, he'd have to come in with another striker. We'd have to get rid of Jota and Nunes and bring in Liam Delap and someone else. I just don't think they're good enough for that. Just for that main option for me. Thank you everyone for watching. Abdul, Mohamed, Steve, thank you for commenting as well. Absolute pleasure for you guys coming in to comment. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do smash that like, smash that share button, subscribe, and also get your notification bells on as well. We get content out every single day this week. Hopefully, I'm hoping more people can do some shows this weekend because I'm away this weekend. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, it's good for me, but it's unfortunate for you guys. Because I won't be able to do content. However, I make sure we try to get content out as much as we can this week. I've got another Hey Grok series episode coming out as well over the next couple of days. I need to record that, which is asking about Mohamed Salah and his impact on the Premier League coming up in the next few years. I'll say what Steve said here. Move 8 or 9 players out. That's a lot of business there, Steve. Nunes, Jota out, Kuna, Ekitike in. Yeah. Ekitike would have to come with someone else. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do like that. I said, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you all guys soon. Thank you for watching.